Good morning. It's Tuesday, February 16th. And on Sunday, which was St. Valentine's Day, a day for love, it was also the anniversary of the Parkland shooting, where 17 people were killed, teachers and children, by a lone gunman using an AR-15, an assault rifle. And on the anniversary of the Parkland shooting, what do you think happened? Gun violence. Gun violence at 2 malls in this country. 1 person dead, 4 people injured. All of them ended up in a hospital. And at the White House, President Biden made a statement and promised that his administration will act to reform gun control laws, and he will not wait for the next mass shooting to heed the call. He said, we need to take action to end our epidemic of gun violence and make our schools and communities safer. So he's calling on Congress to enact some common sense gun law reforms, including requiring background checks on gun sales, banning assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, and eliminating the gun manufacturers who knowingly put weapons on our streets. Now, this is a very sticky point. The gun manufacturers and the NRA have a lot of power in this country, and I don't know that that will ever get passed, given the fact that we are controlled by lobbyists and big donors. So I don't know how far this will go. Now, I think it's important that we do ban assault rifles like the AR-15, and that we do ban high-capacity magazines. Now, many have called for these background checks and everything and to look into the mental fitness of people who buy guns. A very difficult task. And many claim, falsely, that gun violence is primarily executed by those with mental illness. And that's not true. Most mentally ill people have enough problems without going around shooting people. Mentally ill people are confused. They have bad thoughts. There are many things that happen, but they are not basically violent people. And if you look at the statistics, you will find that these people who have executed these high-volume attacks have not been unbalanced. They have been angry. They have an axe to grind. Society has not treated them well. Or they have a hatred of somebody who is a different color or a different religion or whatever it is. Those people are not mentally ill in the medical sense. And it's very, very difficult to identify somebody who is very likely to kill. So basically, those are excuses in order to not toughen up our gun laws. The last time I looked at statistics associated with gun violence, the number was in the 30,000s, and a large percentage of those were suicides. So I don't have a problem with the person that owns a gun and goes to target shoot periodically to let off steam. I have several friends who have guns, and they like to target shoot. And when I was a kid, I had a BB gun. And I like to shoot at things like squirrels. But I never hit anything because I wasn't very good. And my parents didn't particularly like the fact that we had a BB gun anyhow. Now, Biden has already started his push for the gun violence control. He's had high-level members of his administration meet with many gun control advocacy groups. And he hasn't written an executive order or an executive action to address the gun control legislation. He's prepared to work on that through Congress and through groups who are in favor of gun control. And I'm sure that the NRA will want to get their 2 cents in, and I don't know how many other gun organizations will want to get their 2 cents in, but why not? Let them speak up. Maybe they have ideas about how to control the violence. There's more to gun violence than just the physical damage and the mental damage that we are creating in our environment. There's an economic cost to this gun violence. And let me give you some statistics that were generated by the Pacific Institute for Research and Evaluation. The direct cost of gun violence is about $8.6 billion a year. Over half of that is going to the cost of keeping somebody in prison. And the indirect costs, the costs associated with the victims and what has happened to them, is over $221 billion a year. This is relating to the quality of life of the victims. Probably medical costs for counseling and medical costs for surviving. At least 750,000 people were injured by gunshots in the last decade. And 320,000 people were killed in the last decade. Yes, we average about 30,000 deaths a year. Over 30,000. And beside the cost to the victims, 87% of gun violence costs falls on the American taxpayers. The average cost per American is about $700 a year. So the economic cost, in conjunction with the physical and mental anguish of gun violence, really needs to be reduced. It all needs to be reduced. And we're not looking to take away all your guns, just the guns that do the most damages, the assault rifles, the high-volume magazines. Is that such a terrible thing to ask of people? To turn in their AR-15s? To carry a magazine that only has maybe 2 shots in it? I think it'll be a tough sell, a very tough sell, because we are entrenched in our guns. We love our guns. We love the Second Amendment of the Constitution. But those of us who are carrying guns for the Second Amendment are wrong, because none of us belongs to a well-regulated militia these days. So I'll leave you with those thoughts. And I guess Happy Valentine's Day wasn't really happy for a lot of people in the past, and even in this past Happy Valentine's Day. So I'll see you in the morning. Bye.